Hey, let's get something straight. Let me holler at y'all for a second, right? I'm finna break all this shit down because I'm sick of hearing all this and that. I've been living long enough so I really know what the fuck going on. Like, listen, let me tell y'all something. A lot of y'all base friendships and, oh, he a real nigga or he ain't a real nigga based on what a person can do for you. If you ask a person that, hey, make me hold $100, $500, whatever, and he say no, oh, that's a fuck nigga, he this or she that, woo. So basically what a person can and can't do for you, you label them a real nigga or not a real nigga. That's crazy. All that does is indicate the level of friendship y'all have. That don't mean he's a fuck nigga, he this, he that. There's plenty of people I've asked for favors and they said no. I didn't know what level of relationship we on. That don't mean they fuck boys, they this and they that. And that's why I said we're going to always have different meanings of what's real, what's fake, and what's a man and what's a woman, because we live differently. But we all subject to the same consequences. That shit don't make no sense to me. But anyway, another thing too. People make it seem like men are like there's no good men. That's a lie. Or there's no good women. That's a lie. It just, we glorify bullshit all around the spectrum. All we glorify is negativity. There's a lot of successful relationships. There's a lot of good baby mamas, baby daddies, and all that. We don't glorify them. We don't give them their flowers while they here. I'm going to give you a good example of that shit. Most, say like, I'm going to put it in a female perspective. A lot of females may come into a relationship on some, I'm going to get me, right? I ain't finna let a nigga play me. I ain't finna go all out. And I ain't finna wifely do this for no boyfriend. Woo. I feel you. But you got to understand this, right? You can't put in 20% and expect 100 out. That don't make sense. You playing yourself, really. And I ain't saying you don't have a valid reason to come into the relationship thinking like that because of probably what you went through or what you glorify or the people around you, what they glorify, but that don't make it right to start a new relationship thinking this guy gonna do you the same way the last dude did you. You cheating yourself. And we got to get away from that shit. So at the end of the day, you basically come into a relationship in survival mode on some, what I'm going to get out of this. You can't do that because most people will do that shit for a year, 2 years until some shit happen and you be like, see, I told you were this type of person, but the energy you was putting out brought you right back what you put out. You get what you put out. And I ain't saying all the time you can put out 100% before y'all go to hollering about, oh, I'll go out. You can go all out for a man. He's still going to fuck over you. See, we glorify the bullshit. Let's glorify the men that women do go all out for and they get what they get in return. See what I'm saying? See how that fucks you up? We're not talking about those who didn't make it. We want to glorify those who did. Okay? Another thing for the old heads, and when I say old heads, I'm really talking about that guy. I don't know his name and I hate talking about people. But I'm just gonna bring this up. The guy who online now giving all this relationship stuff out. Y'all know his name. It's an older guy, gray hair, be going off on people and talking shit. To me, what people don't understand is you have to understand psychology before you can speak on current situations, first of all. Second of all, you don't control the narrative of how we even see a relationship. Because how you see a relationship was all brought to you by who? The people that run the world, the people that run the education, the people that put the perception in your head. We did not go out, experience it for ourselves and label it what we wanted to label it. So we're going to forever be trapped if you can understand where I'm coming from. You get what I'm saying? So from a psychology standpoint, you don't rectify or you don't make up what's a man or what's a woman because it was all taught to you. They told you what a man and a woman is. Get what I'm saying? So therefore, they cannot help you when it comes to a relationship. Secondly, we so far off from nature, from all this living in the matrix and, Wi-Fi and all this noise. It throws us off our body, off rhythm, like from a natural standpoint, which fucks with women's menstrual cycles. It fucks with their attitude, from the food we eat to the shit that we consume, physically, mentally. We so far destroyed to the average person couldn't even comprehend what the fuck I'm saying to even move forward. We fucked up as a people because we don't live naturally. We don't walk on the ground like we should, like I've done videos about. We don't eat natural foods. We don't be in natural environments. So we all throw it off. Go look up Schumann's Renaissance. That's the Earth's rhythm. We so far off rhythm till it's damn near impossible for us to do anything correctly. Okay? That's another thing. That's a whole nother topic. But anyway, And another thing, like I was telling, like, Buddy got to understand, if he in his 50s, his 60s, the world when he was 30 and 35 years old is totally fucking different. See, people always look at how things are. You got to understand this. If one thing changed, everything changes, right? You can't say, back in the day, like when it was in the 60s and the 40s, when the man went out, plowed the field, saw after the crops and the harvest, and the woman stayed home with the daughter, they cooked and they cleaned. That shit ain't today. Nigga, it was way easier to have a relationship then. You weren't hanging around thoughts, and you ain't have all this noise around you and all this freedom and people telling you, oh, it's okay to go sleep with a woman and sleep with a woman and a man and sleep with a man. Like, you ain't have all that shit back then. Why? Because you don't control the fucking narrative. Your life changed based off other people's ideologies, not yours. Okay? Who made it okay to say, and I'm not talking about nobody, because when you talk about, homosexuals and sexuality and stuff, like, people just get all finicky. Even that is by design. You understand me? Because they don't want us talking about that because this is a bigger picture. But who gave you the notion that all this stuff was okay? Y'all will read the Bible and then just pick out certain stuff that y'all just look over. Oh, no, they don't apply to me. But everything else do. That's why I say the world is just so, anyway, that's another story. But all I'm saying is life is so different now than it was then. To if certain things change, then everything should change, right? It's so easy to talk to another person because everything is so accessible, right? Everything is accessible. It's not like back in the 50s and the 40s where all we had was each other. World is so fucked up. You don't think it's gonna be even harder for relationships to transpire, for friendships to transpire? And like I say, if that changed, then the construct of relationships should change. It gotta change. You know how hard it is to walk through a field of marijuana and you just stop smoking marijuana? You don't think one day you're going to smoke that motherfucker? Like, all this is going to be based off your willpower. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have that type of willpower because, like I say, the powers that be understand that. This is why fast food on every corner, then they'll tell you you're dying from diabetes, you're dying from heart failure, you're dying from high blood pressure. But everywhere you look, it's fast fucking food. Like, come on, this is a trap. People got to understand and wake up on what's going on. You get what I'm saying? And everything that's going on is another group of people telling it to you. They put these ideas in your head. What is a man? Have we collectively as a people sat and explored what a man is and came up with our own ideologies? Or a woman? No, we living in a world where the top don't give a fuck about you. And they'll use everything against you to keep you distracted, to keep you fighting against each other, from Section 8 to housing to child support. All that shit is by design, people. I'm trying to break this shit down as best I can. This is why everybody think differently, hustle differently, perceive things differently. We're just different. Why? Because we live different. If we lived in a village as a whole like we supposed to, where everything we do is connected to each other, we learning from each other, you won't have people cheating. You won't have people doing this and doing that. But we live differently, but we still have collectivism consequences. Don't make sense to me. So comprehend what I'm saying. This is why, by us living differently, thinking differently, perceiving things differently, this is why when you take a test or you go on a job, comprehension is the most important part. And the thing about it is when they ask you they come up with a scenario. Okay, what if this happened, that happened, and they ask you, what would you do? They trying to see what would you do. They're not gonna give you an A, B, C. No, you got to write out from your mind based off this scenario. If that happened, what would you do? They want to know where your comprehension at. You can't teach a motherfucker comprehension. This is the most important part of the fucking of the test. But what I am saying is, people, I'm trying to get y'all to understand. We live so unnatural to a lot of things that we try to look and see success in. It just ain't possible to achieve. And a lot of us don't understand that. Why? Because we grew up in a system that kept us away from this type of information. It's all psychology. It's just like the cells in your body. You could take the cells out your arm, put it in your leg. It will adapt. Collectively. It's not like all the cells are living in one area, but doing all different things, experiencing stuff differently, but yet we have the same consequences. How? When we see shit differently based off our experiences. Yeah, it don't matter because you live next door to me. What going on in your house, I don't see it, and vice versa. So we experience it differently. But if we lived as a whole, as a group, like we're supposed to do, as a village, I see you every day. See you. The same stuff you go through, I go through, and vice versa. So we learn from each other. We coming up with the same experiences. So therefore, we should have the same consequences, whether it's good or bad. But if you could comprehend that, what I'm saying, you will understand a lot of shit on why relationships don't work, friendships don't work, and a lot of shit don't work because the powers that be sticks a lot of shit between us to keep us further apart. And let me give you another example since, y'all may not understand where I'm coming from. Section 8. Section 8, it was put in place to break up black families. Same as child support. Now, what I'm telling you is, you might say, well, child support this and child support that. Why the fuck we got to go buy child support? Why? Why we can't come up with our own ways, right, of having two people come together, having a baby, and taking care of that child? Why I got to be the way that they want us to do it? Why? I'm not saying don't come up with child support, but come up with a better way to do it. Why not, when a child 5 years old, you come in, ask the child, do your daddy come around? Do you love your daddy? Do you talk to your dad? Ask that child. That child ain't gonna lie. They're 5 years old. They're not gonna lie. They're not gonna lie and say, no, my daddy don't when he do. Then evaluate it from that point. They don't. And that's just one thing that we can better come to a better conclusion so that nobody could use these things against the other. But they know that shit. They know women gonna use child support against men. And a lot of times, it be men that really do take care of their child, suffer from child support. It be the one that don't do nothing. Because nothing from nothing is nothing. They don't give a damn if you take their license, and some men need to be on child support. But I'm just saying there's better ways to do it. We don't need to do it their way. We don't need to do shit their way. Because everything they do that's their way is to benefit them. Us as a whole need to come to the conclusion and understand it. Like, fuck all that other shit. This is just common sense, bro. You get what I'm saying? Housing, let me get back to that. Sometimes, man, what housing does, and I'm not saying it does to a lot of people, but it does. It makes a lot of our people content on the level they are. It makes them not want to progress in some cases because they don't want to be kicked out the program. But what I say is, when you're not in the position to better yourself, use that shit against them. Like, fuck that. And I know a lot of y'all might say that's wrong. Man, fuck that shit, man. Because I'm tired of that shit, though. You want to go on housing? Go on housing. But stack your motherfucking money up. Stack your money up. Because a lot of people who going to be talking against this ain't going to help you. So I'm telling you, if you on housing or if you on any of them programs, man, stack your money up, man. Stack your money up and get off that shit one day. Don't let it hold you to it. Don't let it confine you to that, because at the end of the day, you can't leave your children nothing. Another thing is they're going to give women that, and people, men, whoever, they're going to give us these programs to keep us in a section to where we don't come with their ass at. See? Yeah, we're going to give y'all the food stamps, and we're going to give y'all a little section. Y'all got to go over there, though. Can't come over here in these hills. You can't come over there because we'll be climbing their fences next. So they smart. They know what they doing. Like, come on, man. And we never own that shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you die, the next motherfucker gonna fill in your spot. You can't leave your churn nothing. Your churn ain't gonna never have nothing on that shit. So, hey, do what you gotta do until you can do what you want to do. I'm just gonna keep it 100. So, I know I'm ranting and raving back and forth about a lot of things, but it is what it is, man. When it comes to a lot of this stuff on God's green earth, we are so unnatural. So you can see the effects. You see what I'm saying? Man, when man touches things, he corrupts it. You get what I'm trying to say? So before people point fingers and say this and say that, first you need to unlearn and relearn. All the shit that you do know, throw it away. Because you have no idea how your body works. You have no idea about your biology. They know more about you than you know about yourself. They know how to use things to make you do things involuntarily. Involuntarily or involuntary servitude. Like I say, it ain't, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make them drink. But the trick is to make them thirsty. And this is how they do us. They give us certain options. But they do things to persuade us to choose from those certain options. This is how the Willie Lynch letter works, because slavery used to be physical. That took too much energy, it took too much foreseeing. So what they did, they started getting you here. They created a world up here, so everything below comes with it. I don't give a damn if you got a PhD or you've been to college 18, 9 years. It don't matter. It don't matter, because that's indoctrination. The people that run your life will never give you the tools to overthrow them. It just don't make sense. So you can go to school for 10 years and just be going down a road that won't happen to, it won't help you with natural things, because they're teaching you to go that way when you should be going this way. And that's all it is. So basically what I'm telling y'all is we have to unlearn, relearn. We have to learn our biology. We need to learn psychology. We need to learn how the brain works, why people do what they do, how to get people to do this. And you'll start seeing how you can reverse engineer this shit back on their ass. Because I'm telling y'all, a lot of the things that we see along with these so-called influencers and psychologists and all Dr. Oz and all these people, they put on these platforms for a reason. So first of all, if you see anybody on a major platform, 9 times out of 9, they full of shit. Think about it. The people that run the world is not going to put you in position to overthrow them. So they're going to put the Dr. Oz's on TV to make the world think that because he's on TV, he's going to give you, no, he's not going to give, he's going to give you what they tell him to give you. You get what I'm saying? From the actors, from all these motherfucking people, man. Be careful of what you hear from these people. And the ones that turn and get real, get what they do. They Bill Cosby them. Look what they did to Bill Cosby. Look, we let them motherfuckers say this man had, and I don't condone that with no women, but I be goddamn. You mean tell me a motherfucker come out 40, 35, 40 years later saying they did this and they did this to this man? That was a whole pluck. See, this is what these motherfuckers do. They build you up and they tear you down. What we do, we sit right there and let it happen. That's why I say we need our own committee. We need to let these people know you cannot portray us in TV that way as black folks, because you making us all look fucking stupid. You making us all look fucking bad. You get what I'm saying? Whether you believe it or not, the people that's in love and hip hop and all these other shows that's on TV, it's for a reason. They want people to think that all black women throw water on each other, can't get along, they can't have a man. This represents you, black woman, whether you believe it or not. It does. You have to understand, they don't have to go to every individual. All they got to do is go to the influencer. If they can go to one person, convince him, he's already convincing millions. They just need to convince him. Why would they try to go and convince all the millions when they could just convince him, that one influencer, whether it's a her or him? You have to understand, people, that this shit goes deep, way deeper than what you think. So a lot of time when people speak, if they're not speaking from a psychology standpoint, and if you don't understand that you don't control the ideologies of the world, meaning who told you that long straight hair was the hair to wear, that's the hair that's in style? So what you're doing, black women, this is not to be racist, but black women, when you wear long straight hair, you're getting away from your personal and your natural identity. So you as a black woman is portrayed as a white woman, honestly, just being honest. Because your hair, all your hair going down, and y'all be throwing it up and doing this here. That's equivalent to seeing white women wear nappy hair. That's basically what I'm telling you. Light skin, they want light skinned women to be the ones, and you got to understand, you don't control you don't control the radio, the media, the TV. These people put these thoughts in your head, not me. Why you think they came up with radio and TV? I done so many videos about this shit, it's a shame. Why you think they came up with this shit? It's equivalent to seeing white women or Chinese women or any women of non-color wearing nappy hair. Do you ever see that? Nope, but you see black women wearing long straight hair. And let me give you a little breakdown of that. Nappy hair is the best hair in the world. Why? Because it grows like a spring, like this here. Just like a plant. A plant grows 360 degrees towards the sun. See, they'll never teach you this shit. So once they teach you that your hair is the best hair, that's why it can lock. We can lock together, strengthen in numbers. What dead hair does like a plant? It grows to the ground like a plant. Why would they tell you that? Why would they tell you that? Because if they did, you would know better to say, I got the shit. This is the best hair in the world. But we'll perm our hair, we'll dead our hair just to be like whoever told you that straight hair was the standard. Who told you that? Now, if they lied to you about that and try to trick you out your identity about just your hair, what the hell else you think they'll trick you out of? The way you talk, the way you dress, the way you act. Come on, people. Let's be real here, people. Let's be real. So with all that being said, I just tried to scratch the surface on how unnatural we live, but yet we expect to be successful in a lot of areas that we just not capable of doing. And like I say, put yourself in a natural environment, you will see what I'm talking about. Let me give you one more example before I get off of this bitch. Everything has to do with environment. This is why they created a box around your brain and a box around your body, which is the matrix. Within the matrix, they can make whatever they want to be important and unimportant. Because if you take a lot of this shit, put it in a different environment, it doesn't exist. It doesn't matter. Take $1 million into the forest, into the Amazon. Them people live off the land like we should be. Money is not meant out there in that environment. That's basically what I'm saying. So these motherfuckers created an environment where these controllable objects and untangible ass objects are tangible because they could do what they want to do within the matrix. That's why you got to go to school to get that brainwash so that we can control you in the matrix. So a lot of y'all be saying, I don't want to get my feet dirty, but you understand what dirt and water does for your life. One of the most valuablest things you scared of because you don't want to get it on your skin. Anyway, this is my last example and I'm off here. You can get a Fortune 500 company CEO that make millions and billions a year, right? Take him out of that environment and put him in the hood. Change his environment. Now let's see how smart he is. Now that guy under the tree that drank natural light all day, every day is more smart in that environment than he is. This is why there's no such thing as an IQ. It's an IQ based on the subject matter, of course, which we don't want to be fooled with that bullshit. Because you could take a high IQ motherfucker, change his environment, and you'll see just how high his IQ is. So don't let them fool you with that bullshit. That's what I mean by changing your environment and thriving. So they changed our environment. They gave us shitty food. They gave us negative ideologies. They gave us false representations of African Americans, from whether it's male or female, because these so-called black leaders ain't the leaders we chose. All they do is get together, hold hands, and pray while we steady getting slaughtered off. Like, who chose these niggas? Not me. And when they do that for so long, that's what we start to go by. That's psychology. Consistency. If you see something for so long, it's called cognitive dissonance. When you see something for so long, over and over and over and over, your brain develops a truth about it. This is psychology. If you woke up every day and saw that car is red, 20, 30, 40 years of your whole life, I cannot change your mind that car is not red, whether it's red or not. That's a good example, basically what I mean by cognitive dissonance. If I tell you that dating one woman your whole life is the way to go, and everybody's doing it, and we feel as though that's how it is, despite of how we did it from our ancestor days. You get what I'm saying? So when people looking at one man having multiple wives in this society is looked upon as something negative. Do you know your history? Like, do you know if that's something we did as black people back in the days? Or someone told you that, oh, we want you just with one person. Why? They don't want you to reproduce. Your grandma used to have 14 and 15 kids. Now we having, what, 2 and 3, 4? Some people a little more. But back in the day, people had 16 kids, 17 kids. Depopulation. They don't want you with multiple wives or multiple offsprings. I think in China, they only allowed to have 2 kids. I think if that. I think. Don't quote me on that. But one of them countries, they only allowed to have 1 or 2 kids. And that's the same thing they want to do with us. They just use it in a different way. Like I say, you can lead a horse to water, can't make it drink. The trick is to make them thirsty. So if we show y'all that most people only have 2 kids, what, a boy and a girl, that's a complete family, because Because they don't want your ass having 16 and 17 goddamn children. Man, they ain't want to be on this long. But understand where I'm coming from, brothers and sisters, and understand that the powers that be are sticking their fingers so far up our anus. So a lot of us can't understand what is going on in our natural lives. Can't point your finger at me. I can't point my finger at you. Why? Because you don't own a motherfucking thing. You don't own a TV station. You don't own colleges. You don't control the education, the food. You don't say whether we can or can't eat this. USDA. You don't control these things. The people that run the world do. And that's how they can put whatever they want to put in the KoolAid. And while I said KoolAid, KoolAid was created for us to use tap water to make KoolAid to give us fluoride. Sad but true. And if y'all know what tap water got in it, you wouldn't drink that shit. Hell, you wouldn't bathe with it. Go to Home Depot, Lowe's, and get you a shower filter. Because you consume more water or the toxins in the water through your skin, which is the biggest organ in your body, especially when it's hot because you open your pores. Anyway, you consume more of the bullshit out of the tap water when you take a shower than when you actually drink it. So go get a filter from a shower head filter. And they even got filters that has rock minerals in it. You can actually see the rock minerals. That's cool. That's dope. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, man. Y'all know it's your boy Papa Dog. I didn't want to make this video long, but I do get in my fucking feelings sometimes. And like I said, I love all. I don't give a damn where you at, where you are, what color you is, because I understand the bigger picture. You ain't my enemy. You might be under their spell to attack me as a black man or attack you as a white person, Asian, Chinese, whatever the case may be, but it's the motherfuckers at the top that's running the show. That's what we all need to be after. Okay? So have at it as you will. So with that being said, man, it's your boy Papa Dog. Like, comment, subscribe. And I don't want to offend nobody. So if I offended you, I'm sorry. So with that being said, love y'all to the next video. Peace.
Hold on. Come on. What the business is, what the lick